A week is a period of 7 days, a unit of time artificially devised with no astronomical basis. The week's origin is generally associated with the ancient Jews and the biblical account of the creation, according to which God labored for 6 days and rested on the seventh. Evidence indicates, however, that the Jews may have borrowed the idea of the week from Mesopotamia, for the Sumerians and the Babylonians divided the year into weeks of 7 days each, one of which they designated a day of recreation. The Babylonians named each of the days after one of the 5 planetary bodies known. Reference: https://www.britannica.com/science/week. According to Encyclopaedia Britannica, Sunday is the first day of the week. It is regarded by most Christians as the Lord's Day, or the weekly memorial of Jesus Christ's resurrection from the dead. The practice of Christians gathering together for worship on Sunday dates back to apostolic times, but details of the actual development of the custom are not clear. Verse 10 of the first chapter of the Revelation to John, mid-1st century AD, mentions the Lord's Day. Saint Justin Martyr, c. 165, philosopher and defender of the Christian faith, in his writings described the Christians gathered together for worship on the Lord's Day. The Gospels, or the Old Testament Hebrew Bible, was read. The presiding minister preached a sermon, and the group prayed together and celebrated the Lord's Supper. The Roman Emperor Constantine I died 337. A convert to Christianity introduced the first civil legislation concerning Sunday in 321. When he decreed that all work should cease on that day, except that farmers could work if necessary. That law, aimed at providing time for worship, was followed later in the same century, and in subsequent centuries, by further restrictions on Sunday activities. Reference: https://www.britannica.com/search query = Sunday. Blue laws, also known as Sunday laws, Sunday trade laws, and Sunday closing laws, are laws restricting or banning certain activities on specified days, usually Sundays in the Western world. The laws were adopted originally for religious reasons, specifically to promote the observance of the Christian day of worship. Since then, they have come to serve secular purposes as well. Different countries have these laws enacted and enforced. Some mandatory, some others not. Blue laws are enforced in parts of the United States and Canada, as well as some European countries, particularly in Austria, Germany, Switzerland, and Norway, keeping most stores closed on Sundays. Here is the list of the European countries with these laws enacted, enforced, and in some countries mandatory. Poland mandatory. Croatia mandatory. Portugal not mandatory. Netherlands not mandatory. France not mandatory. Spain not mandatory. Sweden not mandatory. Hungary not mandatory. Ukraine mandatory. Hungary not mandatory. This is not an exhaustive list. There might be other countries around the world which have those laws enforcement. Whether the Gregorian calendar shows Sunday or Monday as the first day of the week depends on where you live. Most countries start the week on Monday, but most people start on Sunday. 67 countries and over 4 billion people start the week on Sunday. 160 countries and roughly 3.3 billion people start on Monday. In terms of population, it is almost 50-50. Half the world's population begins on Sunday. Almost all countries in North and South America start their week on Sunday, while countries in Europe and Oceania overwhelmingly start on Monday. The world's most populated continents are split. Roughly half the countries in Africa and Asia are on Team Sunday, the other on Team Monday. Countries starting the week on Sunday: United States, Canada, Argentina, Brazil, Colombia, South Africa, Nigeria, India, Pakistan, Indonesia, Bangladesh, Japan, South Korea, Israel. Reference at https://www.timingdate.com/calendar/days/first day of the week HTML. Countries starting the week on Monday: Germany, France, United Kingdom, China, Thailand, Myanmar, Australia, New Zealand, Turkey, Lebanon, Congo DRC, Kenya, Uganda. Note: these lists are not complete. You can find out the first day of the week anywhere in the world by selecting a country in online calendar. How did Sunday become the first day of the week? The first day of the week for the last 5,800 years has been named after the mightiest celestial body in our night sky, the sun. The last day became known as the day of rest, the Sabbath. Our oldest historical records go back to the Babylonians, roughly 5,800 years ago. The Babylonians already had a 7-day week, starting with the day of the sun. The other days were named after other celestial bodies and the corresponding Babylonian gods. The ancient Greeks took over the Babylonian system, renaming the days of the week to fit the Greek gods. Their week started with the day of Helios, the Greek sun god. When the Romans invaded Greece, they imported their system of weekdays as well. The Romans renamed the Greek days and used Roman names for the bodies of our solar system. The Roman week then started with Die Solis, the day of the sun. When the Romans invaded Central Europe, Germanic tribes like the Saxons adopted the Roman week. Die Solis became Sunday. When the Angles and the Saxons invaded Britain and made it Anglo-Saxon, they took their days with them and Sunday became Sunday. Some Muslim countries start their week on Saturday, countries like Afghanistan, Iran and Somalia. This changed in 2000 when Jordan shifted to the Friday-Saturday weekend. Check the following maps and see how different countries adopted either Sunday or Monday system as a week starting point. Green represent countries where the week starts on Monday. Sky blue represent countries where the week starts on Sunday. Dark blue represent countries where the week starts on Saturday. On this second map, blue represent countries starting the week on Sunday. Yellow represent the countries starting the week on Monday. And green represent countries starting the week on Saturday. Here is the complete list of the countries starting the week on Sunday. Here is the complete list of the countries starting the week on Monday. Here is the complete list of the countries starting the week on Saturday. The Muslim countries before changing to Saturday as a week starting point, they used before to be part of either Sunday or Monday group as shown on their country's online calendar. The letter S stands for Sunday while M stands for Monday.